Completing a project is a team effort that brings people together. Each person has a different role and responsibilities while working on a project. Are you ready to find out how stakeholders shape a project and how to keep them in the loop? Let's roll! Stakeholders have a huge impact on the project. But first, let's see what the stakeholder's role is. According to the definition provided by the PMI, Project Management Institute, stakeholders are individuals and organizations who are actively involved in the project or whose interests may be positively or negatively affected as a result of project execution or successful project completion. In project management, we can distinguish between two types of stakeholders: internal stakeholders that come from within the company and external stakeholders that come from outside the company. As team members, executives and managers come from within the company and have an interest in further developing it, this makes them internal stakeholders. On the other hand, external stakeholders such as investors, suppliers, customers, and users also have plenty to gain or lose from executing a project, but they influence the project from outside the company. Stakeholders mapping is a must when it comes to stakeholder management. Creating a stakeholder map gives you a visual overview of all the stakeholders and their roles in the project. This is how you always know who to turn to if an issue comes up or a question arises. It also helps keep everyone in the loop about information that concerns them and make the right decision for the project's progress. Stakeholder mapping begins with identifying stakeholders. The size of your company and project will often dictate the number of stakeholders involved in the project that have an impact on it. However, as the project moves along, this too can change. So make sure you update the stakeholder map regularly. Next, you need to analyze stakeholders and determine their roles in the project. Here are a few questions that you should ask yourself when analyzing stakeholders' roles. Are they willing to participate in the project, and to what extent? How much do they influence the project? What perspective can they bring? For example, external stakeholders such as users can give a valuable perspective from the user's point of view. Including them is extremely important if you're planning a meeting to discuss new or existing features. But you will not keep the same stakeholders in the loop about matters such as financing the project, as they A. cannot influence such decisions, and B. would not benefit from getting that kind of information. Once you have a list of the stakeholders and a thorough analysis of their roles, you can proceed to create a table that is made up of 4 quadrants. Add 2 X's. One axis represents the level of interest and goes from left to right, and the other shows the level of influence top to bottom. You can proceed to categorize all the stakeholders into 4 categories: low interest, high influence; high interest, high influence; low interest, low influence; high interest, low influence. The stakeholders map should be easy to read, understand, and use. It should contain all the valuable information that allows you to keep an eye on all the stakeholders involved in the project. Also, you can group stakeholders based on the level of their interest and their roles, allowing better communication for everyone. Why is it important to keep the stakeholders engaged? First of all, they are the ones with sufficient knowledge about current and past processes and will help the team not to miss out on any deliverables. Engaging the stakeholders will help bring the project risks to light and help the team minimize or avoid them. If you want to learn more about which risks you should take in project management, watch the video on our channel. We'll leave a link below. Keeping the stakeholders in the loop is key to a successful project, as they can share precious information and advice, but how to communicate is another question. Stakeholders with different roles need to be informed about different aspects of the project. Plus, each might have their own preference of whether and how they want to be kept in the loop. That's where the map we've made comes in very handy. Once you know how they'd like to be contacted, how frequently, and which info they should receive, keeping them in the loop will be easy. Creating a stakeholder communication plan lets you know which communication channel you should use, how frequently you should reach out, and with what info. Having a communication plan is more complex than it seems though. Perhaps we should make a separate video about it. Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you liked this video. And follow us for more videos that will skyrocket your projects to success. Bye for now, and see you soon! Are you ready to find out how stakeholders, according to the definition provided by, and will keep the team, below, okay, as they can share precious information.